Now, please will call our meeting to order. We're in the moment of silence. Pray or as you wish, so we may better be able to do the business of the county today. Thank you. There to our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we're on the ancestral land territories of the Ekwampee people. And thank those present day Ekwampee people for their ancestors for sharing their land with our ancestors, whether they came 400 years ago or 4 years ago. And we all live in peace and harmony. On our agenda, there's a couple of additions, 2 resolutions. This put down as J and K, I guess, on the resolutions. It has to do with infrastructure projects that we approved quite a while ago, but they have to follow a resolution here. One is in the Salem area, and the other is in the Salem Brook area. So when we get to resolutions, there'll be 2 additions there. With those 2 additions, are there any other additions, deletions from the agenda? Okay, not seeing any. Could we have a motion to approve that?
So moved, Peter.
Seconded by Councilor Dave Parker. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We're not going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes after our discussion on Saturday. We just need to ask if there's any corrections or to those minutes. Okay, hearing none, we'll declare the minutes approved as presented. Under correspondence, you have 3 pieces of correspondence there. They're all for information. Does anybody have any comments? Go ahead, Councilor Watt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just concerning the Canada Community Living Fund now approving firewalls and stations. I'm going to direct this to Brian. I'm just wondering, are we going to look at the policy of how are we going to handle what the expectation is, especially from the fire department's concerning others with fires and aspects of the private communities. Community grants, or will it be something separate from that?
I think council's going to have to give direction on how that will be developed. Whether I guess the first decision, we'll put this on the next committee meeting, is whether or not council even want to first entertain that fire departments would be eligible for that. And the answer to that is yes. Then we can develop the policy around that. So we'll put that on the next agenda.
Okay, just a quick assessment more. Is the expectation that we should use the gas tax money for that, or is that totally at discretion?
So it's totally at council's discretion as to whether or not they share gas tax with community groups. Fire departments are actually just an addition. Community groups are technically already eligible as long as they fit into one of the eligible categories. So this is a change to an eligible category that allows fire departments to join. So.
Okay, and again, would it be through our community grant system, or would it be a separate request? If they were to get approval?
That would be really up to council to decide whether or not that's a process they would want to follow. If it makes sense that we have some formal application process, and that one seems to work, so reasonably work for us. So.
Thank you.
Comment on that. I think that after Saturday's discussion, I know you couldn't be here for that, Councilor One, but it was brought forward that, you know, perhaps before something is brought to council, that we have from staff, you know, go to line the details and press the options on the table for that. That we'll take a decision of council as to how we choose to vote. We'll need to have some good background information before we make that decision. Okay, if there's no more discussion on the correspondence, see any, we'll move to the fifth item on the agenda from the mayor of Westfield, advising that the town will make appropriate personnel available to meet at any time to discuss solutions to the drainage issues impacting Colony 5, Colony Drive, or the drive-in theater there. So they're more than willing to meet. I believe Councilor Turner, you brought this to the table.
I did, thank you, Mr. Warden. So that's a welcome news from the mayor of Westville that Westville's willing to work with all parties involved in this to alleviate the problem these people have flooding. So perhaps we can, I can talk to Logan as this process unfolds to find out how we're proceeding, and so once again, it's welcome news.
And sure thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan.
Okay, any further discussion on that topic? Seeing none, we'll move right along to our resolutions. And the first one is a repeal of the proof of vaccination policy. Councilor Dewar.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Resolution being resolved by the municipal council of the municipality of the county of Pictou, the council repeals the COVID-19 proof of vaccination policy number 2021-11-56, dated at Pictou, NS, this 4th day of April 2022, signed by myself, Councilor Cheshire North, and seconded by Councilor Andy Thompson. Seconded.
Okay, so moved and seconded, the resolution on the repeal of the proof of vaccination. Any questions or comments on that resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? Or against, I should say, motion carried. Now we have our video conferencing policy, and Councilor Healy, Lisa.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Resolution. Be it resolved by the municipal council for the municipality of the county of Pictou, the council adopt the following policy with respect to video conferencing. Policy number 2022-04-57. Municipality of the county of Pictou Council video conferencing policy. Repeal. All former policies and all other practices with respect to video conferencing are hereby repealed. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 4th day of April 2022, signed by myself, Councilor Darrell Keel, and seconded by Councilor Mary Wolf-John. Second.
Okay, moved and seconded on the video conferencing policy. Are there any comments or questions on our video conferencing policy? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Now, recreation policy, Councilor D. Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. It's only 6 pages. Would you like me to read it all?
Don't have to.
Oh. Okay, resolution. Okay, resolved by the municipal council of the municipality of the county of Pictou. The council adopted the following policy with respect to recreation grants. Policy number 2022-0452. Its purpose is to establish equitable guidelines for council members and municipal staff for the distribution of funds for the not-for-profit sector and charitable organizations in the community for recreation purposes. And it gives considerable detail of how to apply various types of grants for the limits on them. Voted for use travel, sponsorship, tournaments. We also have funding, I believe, has been increased slightly for what we call high-cost programs, and also slightly for what we call low-cost programs. And reporting on accountability. Finally, and repeal all former policies with respect to recreation grants, included policy 2019-05-2, hereby repealed. Dated effective on this the 4th day of April 2022. Moved by myself, Councilor David Parker, seconded by Councilor Mary Woodridge Elliott.
So second.
Okay, you heard the reading of the recreation policy. I'm gonna ask our CEO, is there, Councilor Dave Parker mentioned that there was an increase in the, high-end, cost ones. Is there an increase there from 1 to 1?
It went from 20 to 25 and the low cost went from 750 to 10.
Yeah, okay, the increase in both of them then, but I want to be clear on that. I think there was, or suspected there was an increase there, because the cost of everything, of course, is going up. So are there any questions on that resolution? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Going on to the East River Valley Clay Project donations, Councilor Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution, whereas the municipality of County Pictou is registered with the Canada Revenue Agency as a qualified donee, whereas the Income Tax Act permits qualified donees to issue official donation receipts for income tax purposes. Whereas the East River Valley Recreation Association has requested that the municipality receive donated funds for the association's play project and issue charitable tax receipts to respective donors. Whereas the Financial Services Committee supports this request and recommends that the municipality's charitable tax number be used for that purpose. Therefore, be it resolved by the Municipal Council for the Municipality of County Pictou, the Council will authorize the collection of charitable donations to the East River Valley Recreation Association Play Project and the issuance of charitable tax receipts for the same, dated in Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 5th day of April 2022, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Chester Doer. So seconded.
Here for the reading of the resolution to do with the play project in East River Valley. So we can get tax receipts from the county. Is there any comments or questions on that resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Councilor Thompson, you're up again for somewhere, Ms. McDonald, Rebecca Love.
Thank you. Resolution, whereas the municipality of the County Pictou is registered with the Canada Revenue Agency as a qualified donee, whereas the Income Tax Act permits qualified donees to issue official donation receipts for income tax purposes. Whereas McDonald Rebecca Lodge number 108 has requested that the municipality receive donated funds for the lodge's capital improvements project and issue charitable tax receipts to respective donors. Whereas the Financial Services Committee supports this request and recommends that the municipality's charitable tax number be used for that purpose. Therefore, be resolved by the Municipal Council for the Municipality of County Pictou, the Council authorize the collection of charitable donations to the McDonald Rebecca Lodge number 108 capital improvements project, the issuance of charitable tax receipts for the same, dated Pictou this 5th day of April 2022, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Chester Doer. So seconded.
Okay, so for the reading of that resolution, very similar to the last one, but do with the McDonald Rebecca Lodge and charitable tax receipts. Any questions or comments? Go ahead.
No.
Oh, I saw your red light on.
Yes, I just didn't have to be.
Ah, you're just prepared. You're a good voice checker. Okay, we'll have the vote on the resolution to do with the McDonald Rebecca Lodge. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Now, Councilor Palmer's all prepared, I know it. Go ahead,
Ready your word. Resolution, be resolved by the Municipal Council for the Municipality of the County of Pictou. The council approved the transfer of $250,000 from the general operating reserve to the general operating fund to allow for earlier processing of municipal service grants in 2022-23. Dated Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 4th day of April 2022, moved by myself, Councilor Randy Palmer, second by Councilor Chester Doer.
So seconded.
Okay, so that's the reading of the municipal service grant fund, allowing it to be released earlier so that our community projects can start sooner. Is there any questions on that resolution? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Now, down to the renaming of a road, Pump Road to Nancy's Way, out the deep river.
Okay. Resolution. Whereas a request has been received from the residents of Pump Road in District 7 to have the name of the road changed to Nancy's Way, for those who know about it. Whereas the request was accompanied by a petition signed by a majority of the residents of the road in support of the request, endorsed by the council for that area. It was signed by at least one representative of every home. Not everybody at home. Whereas the request meets all conditions of policy number 2018-08-24, private roads, naming policy, which includes procedures for municipally owned streets. Therefore, be resolved, the municipal council of the municipality of County of Pictou, council accept the name change, Pump Road, Nancy's Way, this municipally owned street. Dated at Pictou, Mass, as the 4th day of April, 2022. By myself, Councilor David Farragut, seconded by Councilor Mary Woolridge.
So second it.
Now, I could, Mr. Woolridge, to speak on it.
Yeah.
As I said, there's only 6 homes on that road. We took them over about 5 years ago. Those got in a real good shape. Residents are very, very pleased. The main reason we took it over is because the late Nancy Lockhart was very persistent. She worked for a dozen years or more on getting this done. There was some resistance. There's some doubt as to who actually owned the road. And during 8 of those years, she was, well, no, during several of those years, she was ill, ovarian cancer. Her husband said she had 7 good years and 1 tough year. We lost her almost a year ago, May of 2021. She's very well respected, and for her efforts on this road, very well liked. So I think it's a fitting tribute, name it Nancy's Way. Now, there is another benefit here, as Councillor Turner will tell you, there is a pump house road in this district. It is where the Department of Environment offices are, and there is sometimes confusion between the pump road and pump house road. Both travel down to the river, both on the east side of the river, and say there's some kind of confusion. So by renaming this road, we will actually eliminate that confusion. Now, sorry about that.
Yeah, let's go buy a free beer.
That wasn't this group. We're not allowed here in council. The strong support for the renaming of this road in Nancy's honor. And that's why I'm very pleased to speak on her behalf and her memory, and move this forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, good idea, and is any comments or questions? Okay, we'll have the vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Councillor Thompson, you're up again.
Resolution. Whereas the East River Valley Fire Department is a registered fire department of the municipality of Pictou County. Whereas the East River Valley Fire Department is incorporated by the Societies Act. Whereas the East River Valley Fire Department has determined to borrow the aggregate principal sum of $100,000 for the purchase of a new fire truck by special resolution on the 15th day of March 2022, as per section 10D of the Societies Act. Whereas the East River Valley Fire Department has requested the municipality of the County of Pictou to guarantee the said borrowing. Whereas section 294 Subsection 6 of the Municipal Government Act provides that the municipality may grant or lend money to or guarantee a loan for a registered fire department for operating or capital purposes. And whereas Section 88, subsection 3 of the Municipal Government Act provides that no guarantee of borrowing by a municipality shall have effect unless the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing has approved proposed borrowing or debenture of the proposed guarantee. Be it therefore resolved that the municipality of the County of Pictou does hereby approve the borrowing by the East River Valley Fire Department of $100,000 for the purposes set out above, that subject to the approval of the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing of the guarantee, the municipality unconditionally guarantees the repayment of principal and interest of the borrowing so made, that upon the issue of the debentures, the warden and the clerk at the municipality do sign the guarantee attached to each of the debentures and affix thereto the seal of the municipality dated Pictou the 5th day of April, 2022, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Randy Palmer.
Was that it?
Okay, moved and seconded that we guarantee a loan for $100,000 to the East River Valley Fire Department to be part of, not to go for sure, but to be part of the cost of their new fire truck. To be clear, I'm going to ask the CAO to clarify what happens in the case where if we're a loan guarantor like this and well, they can't pay, the council is signing to go good for it. What happens after that?
So if they were to default on the loan, our policy basically says that we establish an area rate to cover the shortfall or whatever it would be like.
Close to the district, not to the county as a whole.
Right, to the fire district, yeah, correct.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. I thought it was something similar to that. Are there any further questions or concerns on that loan guarantee? Councilor David Carter.
So the benefit to the East River Valley Fire Department is that they will get a lower interest rate. Is that why they would do this? Really, at the end of the day, their residents around the hall.
Go ahead, Councilor Thompson.
The purpose of this loan guarantee is to simply, in the event that they don't plan to even use this, it's more in the case if they have an extenuating circumstance at the department. They've been saving money for the past 10 years to buy this truck, and they've already paid for half of it. And they've shown that they can pay for the full amount when it comes due, but it leaves them on a cash or it empties their bank account or very close to empties it. It doesn't have anything to do with interest rates. It's more just for cash flow purposes.
Okay. If I may,
Go ahead.
what type of truck is it and what is the estimated cost?
I'm not an expert fire equipment person, so I could get this wrong, but it's like a tanker truck, and it's the total cost HST in is about $470,000.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions for Councilor Thompson on that resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. And we're now on to the temporary borrowing resolution for our internet project. Deputy Warden Murray, Mr.
Yes, Board. Resolution, Municipal Council's Municipality of the County of Pictou, temporary borrowing resolution renewal. The amount is $31,542,110. The renewal projects is a Schedule A, which you have a copy offer with attached with your resolutions, and it's for internet project. Whereas Section 66 of the Municipal Government Act provides the Council of Municipality of the County of Pictou subject to the approval of the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing and Laurel to expend funds for capital purposes authorized by statute. Whereas the council has adopted a capital budget for this fiscal year as required by section 65 of the Municipal Government Act, and are so authorized to expend funds for a capital purpose as identified in the capital budget. Whereas pursuant to a resolution passed by the Municipal Council on the 8th day of September 2020, the council postponed the issue of debentures, and with the approval of the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing dated the 19th day of March 21, did borrow from a chartered bank or trust company doing business in Nova Scotia and Southern Naughty season, exceeding $31,542,110 for the purpose set out above and for a period not extended 12 months. And whereas council has deemed it extended that the period of borrowing be further extended. Be therefore resolved that subject to the approval of the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the authorized period of borrowing in the amount not exceeding $31,542,110 be extended for a further period not exceeding 12 months from the date of approval of the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Dated Picton, Nova Scotia, the 5th day of April 2022. I so move this resolution and second by Councilor Field.
So seconded.
Okay, that's the, you heard the reading of the temporary borrowing resolution for our internet project, extending it for another 12 months. Are there any, okay, go ahead, Red.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't support this resolution as I stated at the committee level.
Okay, any further, go ahead, we had a seconder, did we?
Yep.
Oh, yes, we did. Go ahead, Councilor One.
For the same reason, we'll not be supporting this resolution. And we did get phone calls from residents that have been concerned with the amount of money spent on this project, and they're very concerned what lies ahead for the county.
Any other comments or questions on the resolution to do with the temporary borrowing? Hearing none, we'll have the vote on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Hey,
Okay, we have, is it 3 nays? Okay, you've got that, Brent? Okay, now, as I said earlier, we have 2 additional resolutions here. So the first one is to do with the Salem Loop water and wastewater extension. I'm going to let Everyone Murray act on that.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. The resolution be resolved in the municipality of the county of Pictou submit the project titled Salem Loop Water and Wastewater Extension for funding through the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, Green Stream. To be further resolved, the council supports the project and commits to provide its share $1.35095 and $350,095 toward $5,080,555 project costs. Dated Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 5th day of April 2022. I so move this resolution and seconded by Councilor Elliott.
So seconded.
Okay, thank you. So we've heard the reading of the resolution to do with the capital project for water and wastewater in the Salem area. Are there any questions or concerns on that one? Go ahead, Councilor One.
I asked how many houses the residents are being hooked up to this. That is not a budget.
I believe it's 30.
Any other questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. And the second resolution, I believe, Councilor Palmer, you're looking after that.
Thank you, Lord. Resolution be resolved that the municipality of County Pictou submit the project titled Palms Brook Water Extension for funding through the Investment in Canada Infrastructure Program, Green Stream. And be it further resolved that the council supports the project and commits to provide its share of $1,781,899 towards the $6,681,291 project costs. Be it depicted in Nova Scotia the 5th day of April 2022. Moved by myself, Councilor Randy Palmer, and second by Councilor Andy Johnson.
So seconded.
Okay, there's a reading of the resolution to do with the water project, water extension project in the Development Work area. Are there any questions on that resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Comes to the end of our resolutions. And now we have community announcements. Does anybody have any community announcements? Okay, Councilor Butler.
Mr. Warden, I'm pleased to report a successful fundraiser in my community. I say successful, first of all, maybe not first of all, but first, we were successful from a financial point of view. We raised about $10,000. But perhaps even more significant was to look and see that over 120 people or items were donated to the auction, and probably more than 120 people bid on the items. I think that I feel good about the fact that the entire community rallied around this project and could see the need to support a community hall in their midst. And so I just like to say that I feel very good about the tremendous support that we received from everyone.
Thank you, Councilor Butler, and I'm sure your community wants to thank you for your leadership in that community. And these things don't just happen, as we know, it takes people to make them happen. So thank you for taking that leadership. Councilor Boyle.
Yeah, the Hillside Community Society will be having spring craft fair on this Saturday, following April 9th from 8 to 1 at the Hillside Hall. Let me know.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Coming up 8 to 1 at the Hillside Hall. Okay, and Councilor Palmer.
Board, just a reminder that this Saturday, April the 9th, we're having a retirement party for Wayne Love, who's the arena manager for 44 years at the Belmore Arena. And if anybody can make it, it's from 2 to 4.
Okay, and I have Councilor Dave Parker.
Thank you. The Union Center Community Hall is putting on a fundraising dinner the last day of April, which I believe is a Saturday. It's a roast pork dinner. It's takeout only. I believe it's going to start at 10 a.m. Roast pork, obviously, maple glazed carrots, carrot mashed potatoes, apple crisp for dessert. It's $12 a plate. I believe they're hoping to have some beef and brown bread at a lower price for those who are not fans of pork. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, our rep department has wanted me to announce that Arlene McGregor is going to be our volunteer for the year this year. And there will be something formal with her from the province. I think they're doing it in the fall again, and they're looking at doing something with her as well. So, and maybe other volunteers. So they wanted us to pass that along. And I also have 2 spots available for the Dean's dinner. If anybody's still interested in everything, we'll only have 2 tickets still available. Well, that's on April 21st. At the wellness center.
April 21st.
Yeah.
Okay, and congratulations for sure to Arlene McGregor. Pretty well known in this county for all the work that she's done. I know I used to see her in the exhibition all the time, but I know she does many other things in her community. So it could be a very fitting volunteer for the year for our rural municipality. Councilor Boyle.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that the climate change is, they're going to have a tree planting event on Saturday, May 14th, at 1 p.m. and at the 421 McBain Road in Scottsboro, Nova Scotia. And we'll be sending out invitations to all the councillors, but we can let the public know, and it should be a good event.
This is a big event for the climate change committee, in particular for the tree planting subcommittee. But for anybody who doesn't know where it is, it's actually in Menaville. But it's in back Scott's friend, but it's on the location actually where the new, well, very new forestry school is. That's being run by, what's it called? Yeah, Rossman, that's a good asset too for our municipality, but they're involving a lot of students, I know, in this tree planting, and, you know, the whole idea is to absorb more carbon out of the air, especially with these trees, but it also teaches people a lot, you know, about what can we do. It's such a big problem, climate change, what can we do? It's all about teaching people, I think, the fact that you can do something. We may not solve all the problems once, but you can do something. Okay, that's good. We have lots of announcements. Are there any further? Okay, hearing none. Referrals to committees and council. I just want to stress to council that this is not a time for us to debate any of these issues. If you've got something you want to add to a future meeting, whether it be a committee or council, that's fine, but we don't want to open it up for debate tonight. It's only for things we want it on for a future one. Go ahead, Peter.
So I was just wondering, you know, with the COVID thing lifted and everything, are we going to get the picture taken for the wall up there? I mean, Mary being a new council, it'd be nice to
Get around the
have that done. Yeah, get around the wall up there.
I can speak to that one.
go right ahead then.
Yeah, we plan, actually, you read my mind, Peter, and I forgot to put it down in my notes. Next council meeting. Our Palmer's coming, so everybody could come with their best smiles and help us out.
That's good.
Okay.
We'll do that like at 6:30, so everybody's here a little bit earlier.
Thanks for that reminder, then, Councilor Royce. Yes,
I'm just passing along what we talked about on Saturday, about maybe having the police come in sometime, at least to talk about.
placing in the deck.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, and, Councilor Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have two items. One's concerning the procedures to follow with the insurances and the workers' compensation for fire departments. There seems to be some concern over there. They don't have a procedure to follow. They don't know what procedure if staff could come up with something we could post or something possible, whatever, to help them clearly identify what has to be done with the procedure for. And the second one is the 5% transfer tax and the $2 increase in property tax. This is being stated. I'm not sure when the law amendments is, if it being delayed, if they have a letter or something written to them concerning this, but they discuss it with a lot of concern, especially in cottage country, what that's going to do to the taxes in those areas.
Okay, well, we can add that to our, committee meeting, probably Thursday, the financial services or this better. Okay, we'll do that, and did I see another hand over there? Okay, the deputy warden just informed me that I skipped over, trying to do this meeting in 45 minutes. I skipped over the, emergency resolutions. Are there any emergency resolutions that unanimous consent needed? Hearing none. We're 40 minutes, we won't come to the camera. So would somebody like to move that we go into our in-camera session, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we'll go into in-camera.